All right, everybody. We're here at SSA Spring in San Antonio. We're collabing with PTI Security today. Steve Reeder, welcome. And we're going to ask each other some questions. So we're just going to have some fun. We're going to fire away. So first one is, Steve, when you talk to operators, what's the number one thing that they get wrong about access control?
Yeah, I think access control is, a lot of operators think about access control as a gate solution, right? And it's really more about just the gate. It's everything beyond the gate. It's the visibility, it's the control once you get beyond the gate that I think a lot of people just don't really think about. And if you're not really thinking about controlling on the unit level, securing that space and forward, you're really only addressing half the problem.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Jared, the industry has changed a lot in the last few years. I mean, you guys have done such a huge leap forward with regards to door construction, door security. Talk to me about what you guys have been doing over the last few years, and yeah, take it from there.
Absolutely. So for us, we saw an opportunity in the market to serve the customer better. When you talk about doors, they roll up and they roll down. And when I think of some of the leading doors in the market, I put ours up there with the top 3 doors that I won't name any names, but you can do your own research, find out what those top 3 doors are. But really, the component-wise, there's going to be some things that are a little bit different, but largely they're also very similar, And so when you have a similar product, how do you differentiate? It's how do you treat that customer when things go awry? Are you there for them? And I know that you at PTI, you guys care a lot about customer service as well. And so I believe that's why this has been really a great partnership. That's how we win. That's how we've differentiated over these past almost 4 years now. We make a commitment to the customer, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. I think the easy thing to do is to maybe not pick up the phone when that guy calls, not have that hard conversation, but we're willing to do it. So how do you educate a first-time developer on speccing out a facility from scratch, on how to integrate PTI?
So one of the things PTI has historically been known for is its hardware. We basically invented the market. They invented access control back in 1979.
Yeah.
We have always focused on hardware historically, but we're focusing more on outcome today and experience. All right. So a lot of the things that we're doing today is around outcomes and experience. And when I say outcomes, I'm talking about lowering or quickening the pace of being able to get a tenant to rent a unit, lowering the burden of the operator from an efficiency standpoint for the day-to-day operations, and just trying to make the tenant experience that much more pleasurable. So those are the things that we're trying to do, and so everything we do is try to align infrastructure with real-time visibility and scalability in order to create a better outcome.
Absolutely.
So Jared, talk to me about the industry. How have you seen it change in the last 5 years?
Yeah. I personally think the way it's changed, that it's a lot more competitive now than it was. I think we've seen a contraction in active jobs across the country. And so when we're all competing for the same jobs, it means that that's what we're doing. We're competing. And I know you guys have seen that, and we have seen it as well. And so that's one side of it. I think things are a lot more competitive. The other side of it, I think, is AI has taken over the industry, I would say. And myself as a marketer, I personally love AI. I mean, it's something that I use every single day. But I think people are not taking the time to learn it and use it the right way. So my example that I like to talk about is LinkedIn. I see people are posting essentially like they're going to ChatGPT, I need a post for this. They're just copying the first output, throwing it in there, and they're leaving all those little phrases that chat likes to use, and I'm just like, we couldn't just rephrase that little thing. We couldn't remove the emojis that it throws out. There's these ways that I feel like people could just take it one step further. But then it's also just in everybody's process for how people are running their businesses now as well. And that's something that at SteelBlue we're exploring a lot of, how we can actually just become more efficient using it. I think years ago when ChatGPT came out, it was a buzzword, and it still is a buzzword. It was like, ooh, like, oh, are you using it? And there was almost like a negative connotation to it. But now everyone's using it, so I think, everything's very competitive, and everything is AI. Those are the two things I've seen. So we're still really in the adoption phase of smart latches, I believe. And so because we're still in this adoption phase, I just want to know, when a developer or when an operator is deciding to actually adopt this technology, what do you feel like is actually the main driver behind it? Like, why are they deciding to go this route? Something that I personally think possibly could be the answer would be that they're just trying to ensure that they are the winning facility nearby. You know, say that there's 3 facilities nearby and trying to win the renters. How are they going to do it? Well, probably through having the best facility. I'm curious if that's why, if that's what you're seeing.
Well, first of all, smart tech is coming, whether you want it or not. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And every operator is going to have to make his or her own decision as to when the right time is. And at the end of the day, there's 2 big drivers to those who adopt smart tech, and it's really around efficiency and control.
Yeah.
Those people who are tired of the manual processes, the repetitive processes, the log checks, they want the real-time visibility, they want the scalability. Those people will tend to favor smart tech a lot faster than others. And if you're in a highly populated, densely populated area where competitive pressures are real, those are the areas where we see smart tech being embraced more often than not.
Primary markets.
Right now, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Jared, a couple years ago, PTI and SteelBlue formed, I think, a huge partnership. It's one of the first, may have been the first partnership.
I think it was, yeah.
With a door manufacturer and access control company. What was it about the PTI access control, the smart lock solution, that made SteelBlue say, hey, we may want to add this to our offering? Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, the reason why we wanted to do it is because you guys are the biggest name. So we're partnering with the biggest dogs, with the best tech. And for us, the reason we exist is because the customer base wanted the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
And I believe that us partnering together, that's what we offer now, is the freedom of choice. You're not just locked into one solution that you may or may not want to move forward with. And so therefore, that's why I think people are really enjoying this. It's a really easy install. I was just talking to one of my sales guys about what is it actually like in the field. And they were saying, we throw your latches on the door, you guys show up, you set up the tech at the facility, and it's up and rolling, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think on our end, we've made it really easy for people to adopt the tech. And I do believe ease of use is one of the ways that people will actually start to use things like this. The harder you make it for somebody to adopt, the less they're going to actually want to do it. So I think that's been a huge selling point for the jobs that we've all closed together.
Yeah, I think what you guys are push forward is the experience. And that's what we're trying to do too.
Yeah.
Right? We're trying to do the operator tenant experience, and you're handling the general contractor experience. But at the end of the day, the common fruit experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's why the partnership works.
Yeah. It's been crushing.
Yeah.
It's been crushing from all the things I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Bonus question. Fun one.
Oh gosh.
So we've talked about AI a little bit. So I guess I just want to ask, what's your favorite LLM? What do you like to use?
Well, I mean, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
of course. We were talking about AI earlier.
Yeah.
AI is a great tool, but at the end of the day, we still have to know our customer.
Yes.
And we have to know our product and make sure that the information that AI or the graphic that AI spits out is accurate.
Yeah.
For a branding perspective, from a product perspective.
Right.
We can't just allow it to do our jobs.
Absolutely.
So we use some ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Who doesn't, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
The secret sauce is going to be how we're going to bring AI into self-storage.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What's your favorite?
My favorite is Claude. I really enjoy Claude. So, like everybody, this must have been, 3-ish years ago when Chat came out. ChatGPT was my ride or die, and that early version of ChatGPT was not very good.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I got such a bad rap. And then I just never stopped using it. And so there was a point a few years ago when I was basically doing the same prompt in Gemini, Claude, and Chat. And I just really enjoyed the way that Claude processes information. And I think just the way that I prompt, I think Claude just works well for me.
Yeah.
And I highly encourage anybody to try that out. There's even open source models. You can try DeepSeek, or Kimi, I think, is out there as well. But yeah, I mean, for anybody out there, you're trying to use it for your company in particular, if you're using chat or using Claude, build out a custom project within it, so that way you can customize it with all your company data that is not proprietary. Just throw in all the stuff that's publicly available, so that it's essentially a very smart coworker. And you're still going to have to fact check it at the end of the day, but it'll get you a very good first draft. So yeah, Claude's my guy.
Yeah, I need to try a Claude.
He's good.
I have not tried it.
He's very fun.
Yeah. Appreciate your time today.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Yeah, always good talking with you.
Appreciate the collaboration.
Yeah, thank you.